Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus King Sun Kiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, maybe, for a musical message. And today's musical message is from Miss You Goodbye by K. Michelle. And we also got a bonus paralleling message from another art piece that parallels with this one. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the specificities of this read.
Now, for those of y'all that know done been here before, y'all know how I go. But if you don't know, you'll just stay tuned and you'll find out as we go. So, starting off with this first card here is General Messages from Miss You Goodbye by K. Michelle. So, the generalities of what was put into the song and its creation by the peoples as well as by the spirits, all right? As well as compiled with what the divine realm may want you to take, your individual divine realm may want you to take all at the same time. So, yeah, so we got the 9 of vibes here, and it is also labeled on edge, which I feel like fits the vibe, no pun intended, of the song Miss You Goodbye, because the 9 of Wands is about getting to a point of fighting a battle that you've been doing a good job at fighting, but at the same time, it's been wearing you out, honey. It's been putting up a good old fight against you, okay? Turning you every which way but loose. And you proud of yourself for your endurance and how far you have come. All the while, you see how far you got to go. And even if it ain't that far, you see where you at and how much you done put into it and how much that you done got back on the back end. And you're like, I don't know if it's worth it, honey. So again, tapping back into that thing on edge, in which, like I said, ties into the lyricism, okay, that's giving Miss You Goodbye, which is like her basically saying, I miss you. Even in the first verse, she like, I miss you in the day, I miss you in the night, I miss the ways we used to talk, but I don't miss your lies. I miss the way we laugh. You used to make me smile, okay? I miss the way that we could be, however it was, honey. But honey, you ain't shit. And I can't sit up here and continue to act like you are shit. To be reliant and latched onto the potential of the situation versus what the pattern and your actions are saying. Okay? So, what I'm picking up though, with this being the 9 of Wands, that number 9 right there has been the end of things, so the new beginnings can come into play. All right? The Wand suit is all about actions. Okay? It has to do with actions specifically and getting into masculine energy that co-collabs with the feminine. Because it's active, but it's flexible. That good old integration. But more so, when we get into this card in particular, it's more like co-collaboration. The masculine is needing to be advised by the feminine on what actions need to be taken, which actions need not to be taken, and which direction to go in. Pay close attention to the imagery of the card. I'm not going to talk too much about it. You just take it in for yourself, how you interpret it based on what is being said and based on what you was feeling and what comes to your mind as you was feeling it. Okay? Okay. So, all of that in a nutshell before we move on to the next card. This is given that the lot of you are coming to some very decisive conclusions about some attachments that you are intentionally detaching from, no matter what positive memories, what loving feelings, what hopes and dreams you may have had attached to it. It's like you're coming to the conclusion that it's not worth it for you. You're coming to the conclusion that the laughs and even some of the pleasure of the lies is just not worth it for you. It's just not enough. Even if it's not bad, even if it's good, you're realizing that the good is not enough and you want great. So I might miss you, but goodbye. So how this is hitting for the most prominent that I'm picking up on in this collective is definitely having to do with some jobs, okay? Having to do with some job spaces, having to do with some educational spaces. Also, some specific relationships that are, I'm picking up those specifically that are engaged and or married specifically. Okay, but it can hit in a plethora of different ways. Okay, you take the meat and spit out the bone, but those are the specifics that I picked up on for that card and that channeling, them messages. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the specificities of the next card. Now, for this card, we got the 5 of Swords in reverse. And what I asked for this card is the intentional messages and energy transfers that K. Michelle poured into the song. So, in a nutshell and simply stated, this will be messages from K. Michelle through this song, Miss You Goodbye. And so, she got the 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is having to do with basically giving up the fight. And it literally, as I'm delivering this message, brings up the bridge lyrics I can't remember the whole thing, but the specific lyrics that is literally channeling right now, loud as fuck to the point where I can't hear nothing else is, but I'm giving up. Yeah, the lyrics right before that is, my heart says, fight for who you love, but I'm giving up. And so in delivering it, what I'm hearing is the spirit saying, fight for who you love. Who you love should be yourself. Who you love should always be yourself first. So in fighting for anything, or any position that you're in, you might be fighting for a relationship or feel like you fighting for the love of someone. That's a call to reevaluate. Are you fighting as in begging, performing, grasping, grappling at war for someone to love you, or are you fighting to maintain your love for yourself? And if you're in a position or someone is putting you in position to have to fight for the love of yourself, that's something that you need to let go. Because someone who is truly for you, someone who is truly divinely designed for you, or any place, environment, group that is truly divinely designed for you, is not going to put you in position to have to wager your self-love versus showing love for them. They're villainizing you for protecting yourself, villainizing you for setting boundaries, villainizing you for loving yourself. I'm literally seeing someone or some people like in the mirror, and you got someone or some people that's always like talking down on you every time you're in the mirror, or even like you just put your clothes on to go somewhere, and as soon as you step amongst this particular person or this group of people, they start giving you like backhanded compliments or quote unquote compliments that make you feel uncomfortable. And the reason why it's making you feel uncomfortable is because the energy that they're transferring with it is jealousy, haterade, is put down energy. They are speaking the language of compliments, but the energy that they're transferring to you is sinister. That sounds weird, but that's what it is. So it's like they're giving you just enough to keep you where they want you to be, all the while hiding the truth in plain sight, throwing you off, blurring your vision. And so that's what spirit is giving you, that inclining. Like if they're putting you in a position to where you having to wager loving myself versus loving them, and they're like making that a battle for you, a tug of war for you, your best bet is to give them up. Give them up, give up that fight, and retreat, return back to yourself. Game over. Like, and that's not weak shit. That's just choosing yourself. And they can think whatever it is that they want to think on the back end. Fuck who you is, who you want to be. So, child, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section.
And here we are getting into what the divine realm is wanting the collective to specifically take from the song. So we have 5 cards here. I'm not going to go like all the way in depth on each card, but the general consensus, I'm going to read them off one by one. I'm not going to read all of them off in depth one by one. But here we go. So we got Catfish. And with that, I'm hearing the song by Tamar, Catfish. Baby, I know the real you. Baby, I know the real you. So, amongst the message that I'm about to spit, it's given on the horizon that some reveals are bound to happen soon for some of you, one way or another. You either about to expose somebody, or you about to tell somebody about themselves, something that's been on your heart, on your chest for a long time, and or somebody else is about to get exposed, somebody that has had you fucked up, and you're about to find out that they done had several other people fucked up as well. And some of them people finna be at the right place at the right time, and you're gonna be at the right place at the right time to see everything going on at the right place at the right time. Okay? Giving karmic retribution. Now, as we proceed to give you R&B mother, because what you need, and what you need is the rest of this read. Now, so with the Catfish card, we then have the Queer card, okay? Which obviously we'll get into some LGBTQ plus tangs. Also, though, it is not limited to that group. Queer also means different, weird, odd. So this is also giving black sheep energy. This is also giving ostracization type things. Did I say black sheep, odd man out type things? Okay, so hold that thought. We then got the walls closing in. We have savings in reverse. And we have overload. Okay, so I'm picking up some people that have been asking and wondering, like, where the hell is my money? Okay, where is it at? So what's going on here, I'm hearing spiritual hygiene. And in correlation to the song, what spirit is wanting this collective to take from the song also is to recognize when someone, a relationship, an attachment, a job, an environment, a group has been or is, and or trying to force you to be something that you are not. trying to force you to assimilate, trying to force you to conform and form into something that you are not. And many of you may be coming into that realization about some things in particular, which makes sense of why you would be, coming across this reading and resonating with it. So yeah, amongst if you've been hearing this song or thinking about this song lately, so it's leaning towards that. Amongst the spiritual hygiene of it all is there could be some things for some of you that is like residual energy from the past. Okay, having been in situations that force you to conform or tried real hard to force you to conform, and when you were unable, they ostracized you, or that could be the story of your life type shit. You may be the black sheep of your family. You may have had like a plethora of relationships where it's like your mate could never just accept you for who you are. They always trying to dress you down and point out all your flaws and try to fix you, try to handle you like a project. This could also even have shown up in your friendships, or like I said, even in family things. Somebody is always handling you and relating to you in a way like you are a fixer-upper for them. So again, pointing in the direction to declare and demand further ending of the cycles of accepting situations that try to shapeshift you into something that you are not. I'm also hearing the song now, Lights and Camera by Yuna. Camera, strike a pose, have someone help you put lipstick on. High heels, now you're 6 feet tall, and everybody knows who you are. And nobody cares if your heart is aching. Nobody cares if you want more. Nobody wants to know you cried the night before. So that song is channeling through even more so in correlation with this song and the messages that the divine realm is spitting, honey. It's giving, and this is where it's getting to where the overload essence is coming from. Like pointing to in a direction, like specifically if you have been on your regimens, working out, eating right, trying to make sure that you get your rest, that you pour into your projects, work life fun balance type shit, but yet and still you ain't feeling the fulfillment. You have been feeling still like exhausted and getting to like these brick wall waterfall. Girl, you think you know it all, but you don't. I do. So push away your attitude. No, wait, come back, you need a tic-tac. Honey, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. And I'm hearing spirit say that like that just channel through as like you keep getting to these points of, even throughout doing your regimens and whatnot, get into these points of these dead ends where you realize that you still don't feel fulfilled, that you're doing all of the things that you should be doing and low-key high-key want to do, but you still not feeling fulfilled, and you're getting frustrated and getting a very stank energy and getting crabby and lashing out and getting extra triggered and wanting to lash out and attack people, probably maybe even just isolate yourself from everybody type shit. Trauma responsive behavior, because it gets to, and it's another song channeling through from another Pisces. I wonder if Yuna is a Pisces. Tamar is a Pisces. Remember Tamar's song channeled through, so it's like giving heavy Pisces energy here. Interesting, because Kate Michelle is a Pisces also. But yes, the Pisces whose song is channeling through in the song is What Now by Rihanna. Okay. And the essence and the lyrics of that song lend to literally like what would come to mind in case you haven't heard it. It's literally like, what now? Okay, we done all of this. And the lyrics specifically that's coming through is, whatever it is, it feels like it's laughing at me from the glasses of a two-sided mirror. I think it's glasses that she say right there, but you'll look it up. You know what I'm saying? It all correlate one way or another. The point is gotten across. So you start feeling like the universe is playing a trick on you, like God is playing a trick on you, like you are delusional to a fault, like you just wasting your time. And so again, with this overload card specifically, and in further correlation with the song What Now by Rihanna that channeled through, is again, so the first verse has the lyric, I've been ignoring this big lump in my throat. I've been ignoring this big lump in my throat. So essentially that's lending towards like the feeling of crime, been holding back tears for a long ass time type shit, bars. And so it's coming from the having been forced into situations to have to conform, to have to be something that you're not, to have to do things that you didn't want to do. But
you were forced into those situations one way or another, or in certain relationships, you were forced to do a whole bunch of stuff perhaps that you really didn't want to do. So, for a lot of you where this is past tense, it is again residual energy. You needing to tap back into your memory bank and recollect where you lost yourself, and or where you gave yourself away, where you may have given up on yourself. And for a lot of you, I'm picking very verbally abusive relationships where you're dressing you down, like somebody dressing you down like all the time, always pointing out your flaws, always talking about how you dress, what you wear. I'm seeing people in the mirror, like you popping your shit, but it's this individual that's always like, why you always in the mirror? You just think you out it, or you just da 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 da. You gonna wear that? Like, always got something negative to say, but always want to be in your time, space, and place and face all the time. Also, so it's given that for some of you, y'all left the relationship, but the spiritual hygiene of acknowledgement was neglected. So you just moved on. And for some of you, out the frying pan into the fire type shit, this cycling. And for others, just going through the motions. And it's some part of you that's been like steady on the go, on the run from that situation, and trying your best not to dwell in the good times nor dwell in the bad times either. And it's been resulting in this dissociation. So I needing to tap back in once again and call your sense of self-worth back to you, because you're needing to recollect upon a situation that really broke your spirit, broke your sense of self-pride, even broke your sense of self-confidence, and made you feel like it was a waste of time to even be confident. Because that's where this frequency of burnout keeps coming from. It's something. What I'm seeing here is like a fire in the ground that's just been sitting there burning and burning and burning and burning and burning and burning and burning, and it needs to be put out. Like you just ran away from the fire, but nobody put it out. And so remembering to put out the fire, handle the situation. Don't put your own fire out. Don't give your own fire away. So need to call your fire back to you, which makes sense. All of these yellow cards here. Yeah, it's like whatever that situation is or was, it really zapped your energy. It's giving me the imagery of the scene from Death Becomes Her, where the redhead lady gets shot in the stomach and it leaves a big ass hole in her torso, and she just walking around with a big ass fucking hole in her torso. That's the figurative spiritual sense of like what that situation did to you. It shot a big ass fucking hole through your solar plexus. And so y'all are needing to acknowledge that and release. Cry, go to a rage room or something. Channel releasing that energy if and when you work out or do yoga. Say affirmations of release surrounding that situation. When you're working out and things of that nature, if you're an artist, even when you're doing art, start including affirmations of release into your art processes. And also affirmations and meditative energy of calling your fire back, calling your sense of self-pride, calling your sense of self-confidence back to you, calling the divine direction of your anger as well back to you. Okay. Another song that channeled through is Carrie Hilson, Energy. Okay. The specific lyrics: I'm having nightmares from sleeping with the enemy, honey. How do we reverse the chemistry? So some of you are needing to do some guilt return to senders. You need to return guilt frequency back to their rightful owners. So that's one thing. Some of you may have literally been having nightmares from sleeping with the enemy, and or having had slept with the enemy or enemies at certain points in your life. And again, needing to cleanse, like really intentionally cleanse yourself. And like I said, in working out and or doing your artworks, whatever it is your leisure, whatever it is your sacral activities are, having affirmations of release surrounding any different situations that have hurt you, but also whatever the specific situation or situations that came up for you that was concerning. Like it really broke your spirit, it really like broke your sense of pride type shit, it really zapped your energy, shot a big ass hole in your torso type shit, through your solar plexus type shit, and really like has been draining and causing like dumpster fire type shit on your solar plexus. So it's very interesting too. I do want to acknowledge that and kind of take a moment to unpack it, because I know that a part of the message is calling your fire back to you. And then there's also this reference of a fire burning somewhere, and needing to be, so it's given needing to be restored and redirected, and there is one that needs to be put out. Okay, so to clarify, this is the clarification that is coming through. Spirit is saying this fire that needs to be put out is concerning the return to sender of guilt frequency back to whoever it is that harmed you, abused you, did you wrong. They left guilt frequency on you. They left guilt baggage on you, and it's actually their guilt. It needs to be returned back to them. You need to return it back to them because that is not yours, that is theirs. And so returning it back to them will put their fire out, okay? And therefore give you also the space and the strength and the balance to call your fire back to you. And again, the divine direction of your anger, as well as your other emotions, your sense of pride, your sense of passion, as well as all the other ones that may come up, okay? Because we are emotional beings, all right? And it is attached to our intuition as well, all right? So we need that. So yes, and calling your fire back to you, you will end up enhancing your money frequency, okay? Now, Spirit is saying for me to wrap up right there because it'll likely be clarified as we get into the next section. All right. So what's very interesting about this next section is that it is connected to a monologue video that I just posted. And y'all know I am a prophetic artist, okay? And my content is all about the integrations of the arts and the spiritualities of it all. Hence how and why we are here, child. So the monologue video that I just posted recently is No More Apologies, Lady in Blue by Intazaki Shange. I hope I said that right. But of course, that is from, well, in case you didn't know, it is from For Color Girls, all right, by Intazaki Shange. All right. So, like I said, I just did a monologue video of that monologue. And also, it's a large part of how and why we are here because I asked Spirit for a song channeling for the monologue. And the song channeling that came through was Miss You Goodbye by K. Michelle. Okay, so a little bonus background info, all right, which gives us some bonus channeling also in the reading. Yes, God. And so as we get to the last but not least section, what I asked for these cards is, what are the paralleling, correlating messages, okay, amongst and from Miss You Goodbye by K. Michelle and No More Apologies, The Lady in Blue by Intazaki Shanke. So for the paralleling messages, the cards we have here are the Ace of Wands sideways with the head to the left, the Nine of Swords, and the Two of Wands sideways with the head to the right. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna really drop this and let the whole world feel it. Anyway, Ace of Wands sideways with the head to the left. So the messages from the Ace of Wands here is giving, and this is, I'm sensing, continuing on also from the previous money messages that started in the previous layout. So what's also very like non-coincidentally about this too is, so For Color Girls is a play, for those of you who don't know, by Intazaki Shanke. The movie For Color Girls that had Janet Jackson and Kara Washington and Tessa Thompson, I think it is, Whoopi and all of them, it's a remake by Tyler Perry, right? So it uses a lot of the same stuff, but then like Tyler added some stuff and changed up some stuff. So I'm saying all of this to say, in the movie, she's Lady in Red, and she's played by Janet Jackson. And Janet Jackson, when she has this poem, when she does the monologue, it is the monologue where she says the line, "Oh, so you doing the bending." And remember, the queer card was present throughout this reading. And mind you, before we even got into the correlations, okay, asking about any correlations between the song energy messages and this monologue energy messages. So that is funny as hell. That is funny as hell. So it brings back the messages also about reveals, as well as about being in situations that force you to be something that you're not, or that make you feel forced to be something that you're not. Okay, so that's also resonating with the Ace of Wands here, where once you reclaim your energy and call your fire back to you, and look, Ace of Wands, Ace of Fire, okay, non-coincidentally. But yes, once you call your fire back to you, It's meant to bring a purifying clarity. Remember, fire also purifies. Now, the reason why it has come out with the head to the left, sideways, specifically with the head to the left, is because as you recollect upon these things that lead you and assist you in calling your fire back to you and all that good stuff, it's going to also cause you to recollect on certain ways that you may have to rightfully acknowledge that you failed yourself in certain ways because of having given up on yourself. So this comes with the challenge of having to juggle acknowledgement and the spiritual hygiene of that, the accountability amongst still maintaining compassion. Okay, compassion. And this is also contributing highly to your sense of passion. So that's also how and why it gets to correlating and segueing on into the Nine of Swords. So at this point, the lyric, if you will, from the poetic monologue of No More Apologies that's coming through is they don't open doors, they don't bring the sun back. Okay, ain't nobody start washing cars with my tears because of sorry. And damn, if you even look at the imagery of the card, you know, the girl is on a cloud, she's crying. Okay, and that is also a part of the energy and messages of the Nine of Swords in general. It is dwelling on what was lost, dwelling on cruelties that have happened. And so it calls for, again, the balance of acknowledging these things and allowing for a release, which is basically, you know, cry if you need to, okay? Cry if you need to, but don't allow yourself to get stuck. Remember that because certain things were forced into you, certain, you know, things that you had to do for survival, it became habitual, right? So it's like the cause is also the cure. In certain ways, it was forced into you, has to be forced out of you, and then certain other things have to be forced into you, if you will. Using the term force loosely because it's giving, you know, meeting you where you at, if you will. What's coming in is replacing force with choice. And that's where, and oh, look at that divine time, and that's where another part of the monologue starts to channel through, and whereas the energy of the monologue takes a transition towards the end where she starts to say, I will not call, I'm not gonna be nice, I will scream and holler and break things and race the engine and tell all your secrets about yourself to your face, and I'm not gonna be sorry for none of it. Okay, taking the power of choice back, calling your free will back to you, which will also allow your ambition to come back to you. Okay, your sense of ambition and passion, again bringing back in a purifying clarity as to where you truly want to go, and this will be your entire being, your shadow self, coming into integration, into harmony with your higher self, your divine self. So for example, if you're the type of person, let's say you're attracted to men, okay, males, you're attracted to males, masculinity, whatever, what have you, all right, and you're usually attracted to the bad boy, but you've gotten to a point where you know you don't need to be fucking with no bad boys, and it's also getting to the point where it's not even tickling your fancy, but some part of you still wants it to, some part of you is still trying to gravitate towards that. I'm also picking up on that same type of example when it comes to food. Like, you no longer even resonating with junk food no more. It's messing your stomach up even if you try to eat it again, or just some with you is just rejecting it. You like, no, like you can't even eat it, but some part of you is still craving it even though you know your soul is done with it. So this is, again, the purpose of all of this, to get you in full alignment with what is good for you and what is your divine design and your divine purpose, getting you attracted to what is attracted to you. And so getting us on into, ooh, and it's channeling through, instead of being sorry all the time, just enjoy being yourself. And this is coming through as a message directly to you. Instead of being sorry all the time, enjoy being yourself. Okay, so get into a point, and that's a part of taking your power back as well. It's not to use that to beat up on yourself or anything. That's literally the point that is being made through the messages that is coming through. As you recollect on a lot of these things that you've been through, and a lot of these things that it taught you to accept and that you became complacent to, again, times where you gave up on yourself and things of that nature, situations that broke you, if you will, as well. As you recollect upon these things, you do your return to centers, you do your affirmations and all of that. Okay, again, it comes with the challenge of not dwelling on things and also facing moments of anger with yourself and anger with the divine realm. And again, the spiritual hygiene of acknowledgement, as well as the spiritual hygiene, purification, okay, of calling your fire back to you. Because remember what I said about in that is also calling back in and declaring and demanding that your anger, as well as your other emotions, your anger, your passion, things of that nature, are divinely directed. Okay? Okay. Yes, okay. I hope you're picking up what we're putting down. So to try to simplify that, all right, as you be thinking back on all of the things, you might get pissed off with yourself. All right. And that is okay. It is okay to get upset with yourself sometimes. All right. But don't stay there. All right. Acknowledge that you're pissed with yourself and declare and demand. Okay. And respectfully ask, pray, call in, affirm that your anger be divinely directed. Okay. And remember to balance the compassion for yourself, being realistic about the situation that could have been situations where it's just like literally to survive. Shit that you had to do, you had to surrender to and things of that nature. All right. Okay. Okay. So even furthermore, with this two of wands card, it's like a call to action. And again, that call to action is, instead of being sorry all the time, enjoy being yourself. Because again, going back to the messages of miss you goodbye in itself, that had to do with not being in situations that are trying to force you to be something that you're not. Because that's why on the back end, you sorry. That's why on the back end, it's regrets and shit. Because you were, and I'm picking up, and this is for some people, maybe not for all, take the meat, spit out the bone. But it's coming up like being in situations, and it's correlating with the poem too, where it's like you allowing apologies, you're allowing words, you're allowing charisma, you're allowing aesthetic, you're allowing just any other type of chemistry to keep you on a string, to control you, to make you feel like you have to bow down to transactional show pony type of dynamics, performing for treats, performing for crumbs of love and shit. Okay. Again, bending yourself into a pretzel, shape shifting. It's given like some of you may have had a habit of losing yourself in relationships. As soon as you get into a relationship, everything that you're interested in or was interested in as an individual goes out the window, and now all of your mate's interests are your interests. All you do is go everywhere that they go and do everything that they do. And now everything that you once knew is gone because now you have just become them. Just all about them type shit. So it might be some things like that, because this could also have come from abuse. This could also come from you trauma responding from abuse, where in an abusive situation, you were forced to do that. You were forced to conform to everything that the abusive person thought, everything that they want to do. They were isolating you. Those are the abuse tactics. That's the way they trained you. So you left the situation, but you were still in the habit of doing everything that they forced you to do. So with this two of wands, again, now you calling back your fire, you calling back your free will. It also comes with that responsibility, that accountability, which is also self-love. Instead of being sorry all the time, just enjoy being yourself. Emphasis on enjoy. And with it, trusting yourself. So that's also what this two of wands is here about. Okay? And it's sideways with the head to the right because you are capable. All right? You wouldn't be here if spirit didn't feel like you was capable, if your higher self didn't feel like you was capable. Okay? Okay? You is capable. All right? You was kind, you was smart, you was important. Yes, God. And so it's just the challenge of trusting yourself, trusting your decisions, trusting that your desires are in alignment with what is good and what is best for you. And so with the two of wands, you holding two wands, and you're gonna have to choose one, honey. One is worn out. One is worn out from windmilling for dear life, trying to protect the most valuable one, honey, that you end up forgetting about because you were so busy windmilling trying to protect it. But now it's time to remember, okay, the purpose of what you've been protecting, the purpose of what you've been doing so much to survive for. Because, honey, now it's time to live. But are you going to allow yourself? Are you going to allow yourself, honey? That's what this two of wands is about. Are you going to allow yourself? And we know that you are. It's just, it's going to be something that come up. It's going to be some things that come up real soon. Probably already. That's going to trigger the fuck at you. Okay, it's going to trigger the fuck at you. It's going to tempt the fuck at you to want to go back to them old ways, them old habits, honey. But don't do it, Mabel. Okay? Don't do it. All right? Don't step into the light, Caroline. Be the light. Fuck who you is, who you want to be. And you already know, once again, what it say? Instead of being sorry all the time, enjoy being yourself. And with all that being said, Charlie, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this candle right, and I am thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quotas for the next time. And be sure to bless that comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you in all ways light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.